What does it take to be an adult reader? Research on literacy and reading motivation has shown that one's upbringing and background, specifically the relationship between attitude and beliefs, are crucial factors in shaping one's reading habits. With that as its basis, iRead will interview some of the students who are proficient in English and, more importantly, who share the love of reading.
My name is Changangkha and I am 13 years old. I am in class 7. I study in Changangkha Middle Secondary School and I am from Samti. I read fiction books. My favorite author is R.J. Palicio. My favorite book is called Wonder. Wonder is about a 10-year-old boy who has facial abnormalities and was homeschooled till 4th grade. His parents sent him to a real-life school to start middle school, but he has a really hard time to find friends because of his look. I learned to never judge anyone by its appearance and to be against bullying.
My name is Sonam Chini Dralma. I study in class 7C in Changangkha Middle Secondary School. I'm 11, going on 12. And what else? I'm from Mongar, originally. Well, I can read like almost any type of book. I really like them, but I mostly lean towards non-fiction ones. There's a line in the book that says, "Everybody deserves a standing ovation because we all overcome it the world at least once." I guess that's true, and maybe that's why I was drawn to the world. The story of a boy, how he goes through his life and gets a standing ovation in the end. Don't be afraid to go away from the crowd and help somebody. I mean, if you're new and what if you were in his place? You should help them. Go with your gut.
My name is Pema Shimul Hamo. I'm 12 years old. I study in class 8 in Changangkha Middle Secondary School, and I am from Tashigang. I mostly read non-fiction books. My favorite book is The Chicken Soup for the Teenage Soul. It's a collection of real-life stories from real-life teens. From that book, I have learned so many things. To name some, how to face challenges, how to face personal hurdles, family stuff, and things.
My name is Wangyang Hassan. I am from Mongar. I am 11 years old. My favorite book is Adventurous. It has great morals. I learned that through our creativity, we can make different stories and share our imagination.
Welcome to our show, iRead. Everything you read fills your head with new bits of information, and you never know when it might come in handy. The more knowledge you have, the better equipped you are to tackle any challenges you'll ever face. We'll be moving on to our first segment, the Book Talk, where we'll be talking about our favorite books. So have you all brought your favorite books?
Yes.
So we'll start with Sonam. Can you tell us about the book that you have brought here and what do you like about the book?
Well, the book I brought today, the title is called Wonder. It's written by R.J. Palicio, which she also goes by the name Jean Armune, I think. It's about a boy who encounters bullying because of his deformed face. And he has very little friends to help him. And I can really relate to this book because past years I have encountered bullying and I've not really had that many friends. But it helps to have like 1 or 2 best friends, like really real ones, are good enough to get you through the close times, and this book really proves that.
Okay, so you like the book because this is a story that you can relate to because you have encountered bullying in your life too. I feel that bullying is not cool, and then people who bully are not cool either, right? So I feel that having a book that you can relate to is very important. Thank you, Sonam, for sharing me about your favorite book. Now we'll be moving on to Tsiring. Can you tell us about your favorite book?
We have the same book, and I like this book because it has really good morals.
You liked the book because this book gave you the idea of understanding other people, how they feel, right? So that's a very interesting thing that you just told about your favorite book.
Yeah.
I think that understanding other people is very important, and getting to understand other people, how they feel through a book, is something that is really new and something that is very beautiful. We'll be moving on to Pema. Can you tell us about your favorite book?
The book I brought today is Chicken Soup for the Teen Soul. And as I'm soon going to step into the teen world, I really thought this would be a great book, and I tried reading it. And I really enjoyed it, actually. It's real-life stories written by real-life teens, so I could just like Sonam, I could relate to it. It helped me solve personal hurdles, family stuff, and facing challenges.
From what I know, Chicken Soup is a series of books, right?
Yes.
So have you got a chance to read other Chicken Soup books too?
Yeah, I read the Chicken Soup for the Teen Soul and Chicken Soup for the Kids Soul and so many others, but I can't remember, but this was my favorite.
When you read a book, and then if it has a series, it's very important to continue the series, right? Because it gives you an idea of reading one book, then changing the stories, and then reading a series of books will give you the better idea of the author, as well as you get to explore more stories. So I think that it's very important to read a series of books. We'll be moving on to Wang Yang. Can you tell us about the favorite book that you have brought here?
My favorite book is The Fright Night, written by Journey Mustilton. I like this book because it's very adventurous and I love adventures. And there are many new vocabularies which we can learn, and it has great morals.
You said that you love adventure books, right? So Enid Blyton is a very interesting author. So you can also read Famous Five. As a teen, I used to love reading Famous Five because it is the story itself is very interesting and very adventurous. So if you enjoy reading adventurous books, so maybe you can also try Enid Blyton and then try reading Secret Seven or Famous Five, okay? So now, which one character do you like from the book?
I don't think you can really choose with a book like this because everyone plays a specific role. Even their dog Daisy, she gave out the most tears for me. And the elder sister Via, she was the most overprotective and very strong. Then his two friends, and then Augie.
Okay.
But then there's also Julian, the second side of the story, the bully. So after reading his part, I feel like it wasn't just because he just wanted to bully, it was because he was insecure.
Insecure about how he looked in the school, how he wanted to look in the school, how he wanted to portray himself in the school,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Since Sonam and Tsering, you share the same favorite book, you know that the book has a movie version of, there's a movie version of the book. So did you enjoy the book more or did you enjoy the movie more?
I feel like the book was way better than the movie because they don't include Summer's perspective, who is like really kind, who is the kindest friend of Augie, and they also don't include the dog Bear, who was the replacement dog of Daisy.
So Wang Yang, you are making your favorite book as a film. How would you make it?
I would like to change the bad part, which when the Kripila's father got kidnapped. And I would like to make Geronimo the main character.
Okay, so you would enjoy something that is in a happier part, not you don't want the bad parts to be included in the movie, in your movie that you would direct, right? So you want the movie to be a happy and then light-hearted that somebody can enjoy, right?
Okay.
So Pema, as I know that Chicken Soup has a lot of different stories in the book, right?
Yes.
There are different stories. Which is the one story that you really enjoyed from this book?
There's no particular story that I like, but the ones I enjoy are from the facing challenges stories, because being a student at a school, like we get many problems, and this book really helped me to solve many problems. So I like all the stories which are in the facing challenges section.
Talking about facing challenges, every time in our life, it's not very easy. Life isn't very easy, right? We face a lot of challenges, and then to overcome that, maybe reading a book gives you that peace of mind, right? So I think that it's very important to read. So I cannot stress it further how important it is to read books. It's very important to read books because it not only helps you improve your vocabulary, but it also helps you improve your pronunciation. With that, we are done with the first segment, the book talk. Reading can be an activity you do with a friend. You don't even need to be in the same room. All you need is the same book. Call it a two-person book club, call it bonding over literature. The point is that you're sharing something amazing with your best friend. We will be moving on to our next segment, the book friend, where we will be exchanging our books. Exchanging books are really important because you get to learn new stories, you get to explore new authors, and then who knows, maybe the book that you exchange today will lead to reading another book of the author that you exchanged the book with, okay? So maybe we'll start with Sonam. Who do you want to exchange your book with?
Well, I want to give it to Bema because I know that she likes facing challenges, and this book really would help in that. And one more thing, if you find the other two series, you've got to tell me. So yeah.
She will soon be a teenager like me, so she should try it out, I think.
We'll make Sonam and Pema exchange their books, okay? So you need to take care of the books, okay?
Yeah.
You need to take care of the books, and whenever you're done reading, you have to give it back, okay?
Of course.
I hope you like it.
Same here.
Book.
Wang Yang should read this book because it's very interesting, and it's a really beautiful story. And you know, if you like emotional books, you should totally read this because I actually literally cried when like the dog dies. So I think you should read this.
Ching should read the book because this is very adventurous, and you can learn many things from here, even morals, themes, and this is an interesting story.
So okay, so we'll make Tsering and Wang Yang exchange their books.
Have fun.
And when you're done reading, you have to give it back, okay? And then exchanging of books doesn't end here. You need to exchange more books. Right now, we're exchanging books amongst you all, but then maybe when you go back to your school or when you go back home, what you need to do is exchange more books with your friends. Your other friends might have more interesting books. They would love to exchange their books with you, so maybe you can exchange your books with them. And also borrow books from your school libraries, okay? And then if you ever get a chance to go to other public libraries, you can also read books from there, not only sticking to the author you love or the genre that you love, maybe adventure or fictional stories or non-fiction stories. Maybe you can go to the libraries, exchange books, more books from there and read more, okay? So exchanging of books doesn't end here. Remember that, okay? When you go back, what you're going to do, the first thing you're going to do? Exchange your books. And whenever you're done reading the books, you have to give it back to your friends, okay? Promise me that you'll go back to your school, go back to your home, and then try to exchange more books and read more books from other authors also, okay?
Promise.
I'm really happy that you all promised, you agreed with me, okay? With that, we're done with the segment Book Friend, where we exchange their books, and then we also made them promise to exchange more books from their friends and borrow more books from the libraries or from their friends. Reading isn't just a hobby, it's a lifestyle. To ensure that your free time is packed with diverse new books, we present to you our regular reading challenge. Join me and share your reading challenge, Progress 2. We're on our next segment, the book challenge. In this segment, what we're planning to do is challenge ourselves, okay? We're going to challenge ourselves, we're going to promise ourselves to do something.
Well, I promise to go to the library, get as many books as I can, start reading throughout the whole year.
Okay, so you promise to get more books from the library and then read more books. Okay, so I'll keep an eye on that, and then if we ever meet again, you have to say that. Oh, Ajimdiki, I finished reading 10 books. I finished reading 12 books in a month. So I'll be really happy with that. Okay, remember that.
So I promise to read more than 60 books this year or more. And I promise to write a book review on it so that I remember it, and then, yeah.
Yeah, that's a very interesting thing. You all can do that. Write a book review on the book that you have read. Because whenever you go back, maybe in 5 years down the line, and then you see your book review, oh yeah, I read that book. I remember that book. I want to read it again. So maybe it will be a step towards reading more books, okay? So writing a book review is a very interesting and an important promise that you made, okay?
Being a student, I don't get much time writing homeworks, doing things, school stuff. So I promise to read books every night when I go to sleep. It helps to fall asleep too, and we can learn many things.
Okay. And Wang Yang?
I promise to, whenever I don't have books, I would like to exchange with my friends and read it.
Lastly, I'll promise something, okay? Because I heard Pema say that, being a student is very hard to get time to read because you have to do your homeworks, you have to spend time with your family. So, since I'm working right now, it's very hard for me to take time out of my schedule and then to read. As a student, I used to read a lot, and then my reading habit has gone down. So I'll promise myself to read at least, to finish at least one book in a week. So I promise that, okay? So you promise that you'll at least borrow more books from the library and read. You promise to write a book review. You'll try to make some time and then read before you go to bed, and then you'll try to exchange more books, right? So I promise that I'll read at least one book a week, okay? So we are going to stick to our promises, okay? And then maybe I'll come to your school and then check on you guys.
I'll check on you.
Okay, so whenever we finish a book, we'll be writing a book review, okay? That is very important. That is one thing that Tsering highlighted, book review, which I feel is very important. So I think that we should all do that. So we all promise that this is going to be a collective promise. We'll all write a book review, okay? With that, we are done with the segment Book Challenge. Reading is rewarding in itself, but sometimes children need a little extra encouragement to get started, or for a child who struggles with reading, ongoing motivation to keep trying. That's where our Super Reader Rewards come in. There are plenty of productive ways you can spend your free time that can be fun, relaxing and helpful for your education or career. Take a creative approach to get your kids reading books, and these children take up such activities to make reading social and exciting. Which brings us to the next segment, Showtime.
Hi guys, my hobby is to play with my friends, play games with my friends. Okay.
I spend my free time by reading, or sometimes I like to watch YouTube videos and learn how to dance.
Well, my main hobbies are mostly reading and of course dancing, because it helps me express my feelings, like not through words but through my moves. My love for reading nor dancing doesn't really affect my choice of friends, because people are different and it depends on what you go for, their inner self, instead of just their skills.
from reading, I have many hobbies, but I mostly like to play badminton.
Kids love to tell jokes. Tongue twisters help develop speech skills in young children as well as older children. Let's try some that are easy, short, fun and simple. Can you? With that, we are on to our next segment, Can You?, where we'll be doing some tongue twisters. Tongue twisters are fun actually, but then since we do not have a lot of practice and since we do not give very importance to tongue twisters, it's very hard for us to do tongue twisters. So we'll try and do a round of tongue twisters. Okay, we'll start with Wang Yang.
How much bored could the Mongols hurt if the Mongols' horse got bored?
Beck and Mike took a bike hike.
Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. A pack of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers, where are the pack of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked?
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Can you can a can as a canner can a can?
Run Willy Rod as Winnie won.
Wish to wish to wish to wish to wish, but if you wish what a wish wishes, I won't wish to wish to wish to wish to wish.
Okay, a lot of wishes.
Yeah.
A lot of wishes.
She sells seashells by the seashore.
I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop. Where she sits, she shines. Where she shines, she sits.
Oh, I wanted to say that actually.
Alright.
It's okay.
Red Robin won the running race.
Once a fellow met a fellow in a field of beans. Said the fellow to the fellow, if a fellow meets a fellow, can a fellow tell what a fellow means?
Oh, a lot of fellows. Yellow, right? I can't do that. I can't.
Bitty butter, taste bitter, so bitty butter, another bit of butter to make the bitter better taste better.
Okay. Okay, was that fun?
Yes.
Was that challenging?
Yes.
There is something that we have to promise once again. We have to promise that we will make tongue twisters a habit, okay? Because tongue twisters helps us in our pronunciation and it also helps us in our vocabulary. It helps us to speak better. And then tongue twisters are very challenging. For me also, I can't do tongue twisters.
Why can't you try one? Yeah.
Okay, so I'll try one, okay? Yeah. But I'm not as good as you all, but then I only know a short one, so maybe I'll try that. 6 socks sat in the sink, soaking in the soap suds.
6 socks sat in the sink, sticking in the soap.
So it's tough. Tongue twisters are tough. It's not only a game, it's fun, but then you're also learning. So make it a point that you learn more tongue twisters, okay? With that, we're at the end of the segment, Can You? A child's success as a reader begins much earlier than the first day of school. Reading and the love for reading begins at home. Reading together as a family is a great way to share special moments, build confidence and spark young imaginations.
Eyes, not with your mouth right now. We are doing a silent reading. Alright? Now with your shoulder partner, you will share whatever you have learned.
B. Do all the good you can. By all the means you can.
Let me tell you that whatever you read, okay, whatever you learn from the reading, don't keep it with yourself, okay? It's very important that you share with each other. You share it to others so that others learn too. All right?
Owning a book is amazing, but meeting and knowing the author is beyond amazing. Have you ever felt so connected to a story that it felt as if you experienced it in real life? Now let's go to our next segment, Writer's Profile.
I've been a blogger all my life, so I've been writing stories in my blog. after all these years, like 10 years, I thought maybe there are some good articles. People tell me that they love this article, that article. So I thought maybe if I could pick good articles from my blog and put it in a blog, like a book form, it would be nice. So that's how I got my first book. To the young aspiring writers, I must tell you that if you want to write, the shortest cut or the best way to do it is to read a lot. And when you have to read a lot, that's how you will get the knack of language, flow. Then as you write read how great authors write their stories, you will also get all the elements of stories. And you also must read simple authors, in fact, a book like mine, where you will find that it's so easy, it's so simple, that you will also feel, wow, after all, writing is very easy. When I look at this, if this can be a book, then I can also write. Because with such simple book, you will see the possibility of you also, easily becoming a writer. If you always read to great authors or complex books, you will enjoy, you will learn a lot, but you also fear, wow, if it's so difficult to write, I cannot write. But that's why, you have to mix things up. Read great books, complex books, and read simple books also.
Not everyone is a natural reader. Poor readers may not truly understand the joy of literature, but they can be trained to become better readers. Want to give your brain a workout? Pick up a book and start reading. After you finish a book, you can mail me your feedback on how the book helped define you as a person. You can email us at iread@bbs.bt or on our Facebook page iRead. Thank you and bye-bye.